Hello everyone, in this video you will learn how to paint rocks on the shallow stream. This is JMLisondra and I will be your teacher today. Relax and let's learn how to paint. And these are the sets of materials that we're gonna use. The 5 limited colors, the brushes, and all the things that we're gonna need to paint this painting. Okay, let's do the first step first, which is the sketching. So as you can see everyone, I already done the top part of the painting. If you want to paint the whole process, you can just watch the full tutorial. Okay, so I will just mix the white and the raw umber, everyone. Yeah, it's not so much dark, just enough like a light brown. Okay, so let's start painting the rocks. So we need to have the sketch, everyone, so that we will know where we're gonna put those rocks. Okay. And if you are painting with me, just follow what I'm doing and always have fun. Okay? And by the way, everyone, if you want to support me more, you can support me on my Patreon, patreon.com/JMLisondra. You can watch exclusive lessons, tutorials, and at the same time, you can support my YouTube journey also. Okay, so I'll just do the sketching. And do not be afraid, everyone. And I am using the smallest flat brush I have, the number 3 nylon flat brush. I'm gonna put also here some huge boulder of rocks. Okay. Yeah. That's good. You can also put here. And then on this part, you can put some rocks, okay, or stones. I'm gonna use red, yellow, and then raw umber, and then another yellow, and then white to make it lighter. So I am mixing a light brown, everyone. And then let's add some details. Start to add some details. I am still using the small flat brush. Let's try to add the highlight first, everyone. And slowly, I'm going to build the tones or the values of the colors. So this part will be something like soil or something like that, or muds beside the cliff. Okay, and also here I'm gonna use again raw umber. I'm gonna mix it with raw umber, everyone, to make it a little bit darker. And the same thing, everyone, just add more some random colors. Okay, yeah. Then I'm gonna use some blue, red, and the raw umber. And then this is a dark color, everyone. I'm not using any black because using black, everyone, especially for the beginners, I'm afraid that you might over mix it and it will turn out to be gray, so that's dangerous. Okay, so I'm not using any black. I use purple or red and blue or dark purple, something like that. You can also mix it with the raw umber to make it a little bit darker. It's better that way. But if you want, you can still use black, everyone, but I warn you that it's a little bit dangerous. Okay, so I have to put the cracks there, which part will be dark, something like that. I'm using the same brush, everyone, which is the smallest flat brush, number 3. Okay, So we can now see clearly the rocks or the stones beside the cliff. Okay. And always remember, everyone, do not be afraid to try this one. Actually, this is advanced, but I advise you, do not be afraid to try. Okay, yellow and the umber and the white. Let's start to add the highlights with more white. Let's put the highlights here. And by the way, my light source is coming from the right side. So all the highlights will be on the right side. Okay, on the right side, everyone. So I just add light colors, light brown colors on the right side. So I am adding first the highlights, everyone. Yeah. Okay. It's now clear. I think it's not that hard. By the way, everyone, I forget to mention, as you can see, I added the background first. The background will be, the background was something like not so much dark brown, but you can use the raw umber with a little bit of white, and then we can add even red or a little bit blue. Yeah. So yeah, those are the first step, which is adding the other painting, and it's easy for us to add slowly those highlights and shadows or casted shadows. By doing that, it's much easier. Okay. Okay, so we just add the highlights. By the way, everyone, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Um, Click the like button so that algorithm will know that uh, this is a good video, and we can also post add some comments so that other people will know that about the contents of this video. And please share also so that other people also or your friends will know about this lesson, and they can also learn this one. And also it will help me a lot, everyone. Okay, so I'm gonna use now some purples with the white, so it's a lighter purple, everyone. Red, blue, and white. So I added a little bit purples here on the dark part of the rocks. Okay, let's add those purples there. It will add a realistic effect to the painting, everyone. There. And then I'm gonna use raw umber to blend some more parts, because some parts they look sharp. Okay, so I have to blend it. There. Okay, to slowly blend the colors, and this part will be casted shadows. Yeah, by doing that, everyone, you are building up the tones. And if you want to learn the whole process, everyone, of this landscape painting, you can watch the full video on my channel. You can learn how to paint the skies, the mountains, the snowy mountains, and also the tree and the fields and those pine trees. Okay, so I just add a little bit darks. Okay, and this one also. Okay, that's too much light. I'm going to add brown or umber to make it darker. So add a little bit dark, everyone, or a little bit lighter also. Okay, that's great. So I'm gonna use some white to mix it with the existing light brown colors to make a little bit yellowish tone. Okay, so I'm going to add on the top of this rock, and I just have to do it little by little. Yeah, and here, everyone, as you can see, you can put the highlights. And actually, we just have created a stitch shadow there also, the part that we didn't add, and also here and there. Okay, so we are just doing, or we're just adding the details, everyone. And my advice is, do not be afraid to do it. I know that you are afraid, okay? But so don't be afraid. Okay, so I'm adding some white, everyone, to make it lighter. To add more highlights to our rocks. Yeah, and also here, this one. I'll just make it a little bit exaggerated, everyone, especially the lights. Because in acrylics, colors will always go down, something like that. Like it drops. When you add a lighter brown, it becomes a little bit darker when it dries. So I have to exaggerate a little bit on the lights. Okay? Yeah, that's really good. Actually, everyone, before I really cannot afford to use acrylic paints. That's why my father um, bought me household paints to paint because I cannot afford acrylic paints, and also in my town we cannot find acrylic paints. That's why I have to use household paints like Tritone, Boysen, Davis, something like that. Actually, we call it latex paints, and I used that for painting before because for me acrylics are really really expensive, and I use sackcloth for my canvas. Actually, it's from I think flour sacks. Okay, so flour sacks, everyone. I use and I cut it. I bought it from the bakeries. I use it for as my canvas. I have to add 2 layers of uh, acrylic or latex paints so that um, I will cover the prints. Okay, so that's how I started, everyone. Uh, I started really really poor. I cannot afford acrylics and even canvas. Okay, here, everyone, I just add a little bit of light purples. So light purples, everyone, just use the blue, the red, the white, and then you can add a little bit of raw umber to make it lighter purples, and add it on the left side. We assume that there's a few lights hitting on the coming from that left side, and it bounces back to that part. So that's why we can still see light colors there. Okay, I'm gonna use some yellow, raw umber, and then blue, and then white. So we're gonna mix a little bit greenish. And I have to put also a little bit greenish on this part of the rock. So this part is the darker part. So I have to put a little bit greenish, like there are moss, something like that, or some green plants there. So it will add to the entire painting realistic effect. Okay. Actually, everyone, I have no reference on this painting, so I just don't know what will come out. And yeah, I think it's good. Yeah, sometimes before, actually, when I started painting, when I was practicing, I have no reference, so I have to think. I have to watch the nature, and I live in a town which nature is very wonderful. So I have a lot of reference. So I just have to think about that. I have to imagine, and then I have to paint what I see. Okay, so I am mixing a little bit orange, everyone. I add also a little bit orange on the rocks because sometimes you can see a little bit orange on parts of the rocks, and it will make the rocks multicolored, something like that. It will make it look realistic. Yeah, rocks, everyone, is one of the hardest subject in painting. So it takes me a lot of time to create a better rocks. That's why my advice is just to keep on practicing, keep on painting. Actually, you can do it. Yeah, even before my rocks all just grays, gray and black and white. I'm gonna use yellow, white to make a lighter orange or something like a flesh color for the highlights, everyone. So as you see now, I'm adding again highlights because I'm not contented with the highlights. So I have to improve the colors, make it more yellowish or something like an orange, light orange, something like that. Okay, so just have to put like that, little by little, using the smallest flat brush, the number 2, or you can also use number 3 nylon flat brush. Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna add here another light colors, and also there. Yeah, adding a little bit orange, everyone, or light orange. It will make the whole or those rocks much more realistic. And also on this one, and this one, another one. Yeah, I'm gonna put more red, yellow. Yeah, something like an orange, everyone. Just a little bit. Make it not so much obvious, but it will just mix with the existing colors. Okay, on here also. This one. Okay, that's wonderful. I'm gonna use again raw umber. I am now using the liner brush, everyone, and I'm gonna put now some cracks and holes. So I'm using the liner brush 0, double 0, or you can use triple zeros, or you can also use number 1. Okay, so cracks, actually, everyone, it will help to make our rugs more realistic. So yeah, and it will make it look much more detailed. You can also put some holes, some dark spots there. It will look like holes on the rocks. Yeah, I'm gonna use raw umber. So I didn't use any color from, just raw umber. So just raw umber color for these cracks, and it will look pretty good. On this one, as you can see, everyone, those simple lines there we put for the cracks, it looks realistic in the far. So yeah, it adds beauty to or details to our painting. I'm gonna add also some lighter color to fill those holes or something like that, to add more details actually. Yeah, that's good. More white. Put also there and also here. It will actually add everyone add a realistic touch on this work, on these rocks or stones. And our stones will look more sharp. Okay, there. So I added the upper part, everyone, which is the stream. Yeah, like a just white color there. Actually, you can watch the full tutorial on my YouTube channel. I'll just put the link on the description box or the comment box or comment section. You can just go there and watch the full tutorial. It's actually almost 2 hour tutorial. This one, everyone, I just have to focus on painting the rocks. I have a lot of videos on my channel, everyone, and I have to get some few parts there which is really good and everyone can learn. And I try to repackage like this one. I try to redub or add another narration which is fresh. That's like what I'm doing now. And yeah, I hope that this one helps. Okay. So I'm adding now some darks, everyone, using just raw umber color. Just raw umber. Because this part I'm gonna make it like the stream, or yeah, this will be this part will be the water. So I just add dark color there. Usually when the ground is wet, it turns darker. So that's why I add dark color. Okay, it turns darker, and it will be easy for us to cover it with the water effects. Okay. Yeah. And please don't forget to subscribe, everyone. Subscribe, hit like and comment so that YouTube will know that this video will help. Okay. So I'm gonna mix for darker color, blue, red, and raw umber. So I'm not using any black, everyone, once again. So I just use this color as my black. You can use black if you want, but I'm warning you that if you cannot control mixing black, it will make your colors muddy or gray, something like that. So that's why I just use purples on my paintings or on my tutorials. Okay, so I added on the part of the, yeah, some parts, some random parts. That's what you see there. And also I'm using the medium size flat brush on this one. Okay, so we have to put here and there. Another raw umber. Even like this, everyone, it looks so realistic now. Yeah, that looks real. I'm gonna use red, yellow, and then raw umber to make some reddish or orange brown to create some underwater rocks. Yeah, so the color one is like an orange brown, something like that. So just spread it there. Because usually everyone, when rocks are underwater, it will turn darker, something like that. So that's why I'm using that kind of color, like a little bit orange brown. Okay, yeah, that's good. I'm gonna use now another rumber to darken some parts on the part of the waterfall. So on this part, everyone, I'm gonna put the waterfall. Just a small waterfall. Yeah. Again, some raw umber. There are some rocks there. I just put it as raw umber, everyone. Yeah. Just to create more depths. And then I'm gonna use some white, yellow, and okay, just white and yellow, everyone, with the existing red. And let's put also some rocks here. This part, the rocks are lighter because it hit by the light. So I'm going to add lighter color of small rocks. I'm using now the smallest flat brush. Okay. There. Okay. I'm gonna put also here. Yeah. And here also. As you can see, everyone, compared to the dark orange or dark reddish brown color of rocks in the water on the stream part, it's different. And you can even see now that it looks like underwater. So from here, this part, everyone, you can now see the difference. And it looks good. Looks good. I hope that you get the idea. Okay. Here, same color, same light color, and I'll just put some highlights on some parts of the rocks. Okay. And here also. Yeah, these are rocks, everyone. And here. So some parts, everyone, is not so much important. You do not need to make it so much detail because it's a, I can say that it's just a little additional to the picture. Yeah, but if you want, you can, every bit of details, you can make it uh, better and better. The more you spend time of your painting, even the better it will become. So that's why when you add more details, it will become much more realistic. Yeah. But if it will take your time, then it's up to you. Okay, I'm gonna use white, yellow, and make this part much more lighter. Okay, and this one also. And here. And here, okay. I just added some few rocks there. And now, as you can see, everyone, the whole pictures looks so good. You can even now feel the light. You can feel the light where it hits, something like that. You can feel the casted shadows. It's really, really good. That's why I'm using the smallest flat brush around, because I can create better details. Okay, so this one, everyone, a little bit brownish or orange brown. So it's a bit different color. Yeah. You just have to mix those colors there to make it look realistic. Okay. Yeah, that's good. This one looks really good, everyone. One of my most beautiful rock painting. Yeah. And I love those boulders or rocks. Okay, so I just added a little bit orange around, or something like orange brown, reddish brown, for some parts, so that you can see a lot of colors there, not just one color. And here I'm gonna use raw umber, yellow, and the red again. This time a little bit darker. Yeah. So a few of the parts of the water, but this one is one a little bit much more orange and darker. Yellow, blue, yellow and blue to make some greens, and we can also put there some greenish. And then you can put some red to make it darker. So yeah, those parts also, everyone, have greenish rocks, or something, we call it rocks with algae or moss, something like that. And then on the part here of the waterfall, we can put greenish. Okay. And here also a little bit greenish color. Yeah, as you can see, everyone, you can see a lot of colors there. Green, browns, reddish browns, yellowish browns. So it looks good. Yeah. And in here, everyone, much more yellowish green for the waterfall. Actually, everyone, when the waterfall is very shallow or very small, there is no much, you cannot see so much foam or white foams. Only few white foams you can see, because I don't know, it won't break so much the water. Maybe that's the explanation, but I really don't know. If you know the explanation, everyone, you can comment on the comment section, because I don't know. I just observe it, and that's how it looks. I'm gonna use some white to create some a little bit of reflection of the sun. So this is not a white a foam, everyone, but the reflection coming from the sun, something like that. Yeah, but actually, of course, I will put also a little bit foams later on, using the blue, the red, and some white. Okay, so I'm not using any pure white, everyone. So it's a light purple, and then I'm gonna put here. By the way, I'm using a smallest flat brush. Okay, so we are adding now a little bit of foams or white foams on the water. Okay, some white foams. But unlike of the other, maybe a bigger waterfall, everyone, you can really see the white foams there. It turned white everything on the water. But if the waterfall is just very small, only white foams you can see there. I don't know why that happens. Maybe just the volume of the water, or how it impacts, maybe something like that. Okay, that looks realistic. I like it. Can also put here some white foams. And doing like that, everyone, you can observe that it looks realistic. It looks realistic. So yeah, simple like that, using a liner brush number 0 or double 0. It makes the whole picture realistic. That's why, everyone, my advice is use your imagination. Observe the nature. Watch the nature, how it looks. You can observe the waterfall, the mountains, the trees, the leaves, the rocks, and try to imagine it. Try to think about it when you paint, so that you can apply it on your own painting. Okay, so some simple things we did, everyone, and it looks very realistic. I like it. I like the small waterfall there. I'm gonna use some white, and then here I'm gonna make it a little bit lighter, everyone. It's like a it's like a reflection. I don't know what you call that in science, but yeah. And here, everyone, I'm gonna put also white. Okay. And here I'm gonna put some white. Here also. It's like a reflection, or this is the boundary between the water and the object, which is the rock. So as you can see, you can find white lines there, and also here. So I'm using the liner brush, everyone, or yeah, some rigger brush can you also use, or round brush. Yeah, and also here. And here also. Yeah, so just like that. I think our rocky riverbank or something like that looks great, everyone. Or rocks in a shallow stream looks really, really good. So I just have to retouch a little bit, add some more white on the waterfalls to make it much more looking realistic. Yeah, so good. I really love this. Yeah, so that's it, everyone. I hope that you're happy. If you want to paint the whole picture or the whole landscape, you can refer to my description box or on the comment section. I will put the link there, in which you can paint also the sky, the mountains, the trees, the river, or the bushes. Okay, everyone, thank you. Have a nice day, and God bless you all. All the glory, honor, and power, praises belongs to the Lord.